Hey, today's brush is the Stirling Boar brush. We are still in the Boarathon. We have started the 8th use cycle with the 1305, I believe it was yesterday, and we're going to run through all the other boars that I have with and put 8 uses on them. The soap today, Dr. Jon's. I really enjoy his soaps. They're hard-ish. It is a vegan formula, but it performs well, and so that's really what I care about. This is an experimental limited edition that he puts out every month. Fools around in his shop and just kind of comes up with something, and it's intended to be a limited run. Now, I guess if it really takes off, then like I believe the Sakura Musk, he has that started out, and I've got that as the Sunday Funday. But then I think he worked with somebody else to put it out as a regular event, and so that's cool because I actually liked that one. So Melange is the one for February that came out. I just got it today, and we'll be trying it out. The blade for today is an Astra Superior Platinum. It's got 10 uses on it. Yesterday I used a feather in this razor, and the feather had about 22 uses. And so we're getting a little younger blade because I didn't really like the way the feather felt. Now I believe it's the razor, because that same exact feather a couple of uses ago was fabulous. It was really smooth, just cut super well, really happy with it. And so I believe this razor, even this level 1 base plate, is just not maybe for me. And that's okay. Doesn't all go that way. But this is a Charcoal Goods razor. It has the antique brass finish in the top cap and the handle. And this is the double helix handle. And then the base plate in this one, to get a level 1, because these are so hard to come by, I had to settle for the bright brass. But you kind of can't even tell, you know, when you look at it normally from the top and sides and that sort of thing. So even if I'm never able to swap it out for an antique brass one, big deal. So I've already got the Astra loaded in there. Shaving bowl as usual, Roger Quintero special. Link will be in the description. I have already hydrated my face a little bit. So what we'll do, this brush has been soaking for a couple hours, as is my custom during this early break-in period for all these borers that I'm working through. This is probably the most dense, the thickest one of the group, with just tons of hairs, and it is slowly splitting. It is not nearly as soft as the Smogs and the Zenith that I've been working with, shaking out, you know, most of the water. And so this is a thirsty soap, so we'll definitely be putting more water into the lather. All right, so we'll do a 30-second hit right there. So I'll just jump right into it. Little bit of pressure on the soap. Help stir it up. And we'll stop at 01 since we kind of started at 31. Not getting a big bubbly lather coming up, right? It's kind of rich, which is cool. And that's it. I really enjoy Dr. Jon's base, so I am confident that I'm going to enjoy this one too. So his scent notes on this one, immediately what jumps out at me is a fruity, kind of a sweet fruity scent. And so after reading, I may have been able to pick it out myself, but I went to the Cliff Notes, and Granny Smith apple and pineapple. And I have smelled both of those in here at different points. You know, your nose is a weird thing. And so I do get that, and that's exactly what it is. Now what he then added was a little bit of smokiness and then some woodiness. I think I can perceive the smokiness, maybe. But And the woodiness is probably in the background, just kind of helping things out. So we're going to start working this. Now I know that this is a thirsty soap, and so usually I do work this, the bowl here for a little while, but let's just jump right into adding some water. Matter of fact, why don't we just add 2 teaspoons all at once and see what happens. Pretty sure it takes more than that, but that's where we'll start. Slow stirring so we don't knock the soapy water out. It'll start to come together shortly. So I like where it's going with this scent. He said that there was one Eau d'Orsini that I think was last month's that he was probably thinking was his absolute favorite. And he said this one was a close right behind it. It is different. You don't get a lot of this type of scent around, and so in that sense I'm really glad he put it out. It'll be fun to try out. His cold fall morning scent was, I believe, his first Sunday Funday scent. I really liked it, but unfortunately it was a little too light for me. It was really hard for me to detect the awesome coffee and pancake notes that were in it. It's a real shame. But I was able to pass that on to somebody else, and it works out. There is a speed control on your YouTube if you don't know about that. Hit that gear icon, hover over the video with your mouse, hit the gear icon in the bottom, and then hit the speed option. You can change it. One is true to life speed. 1.5 is 1.5 times normal speed, which is nice because you'll still be able to understand me in terms of words, but I'll be able to move a lot quicker. So this is coming together nicely. Look at that. Oh, now the smokiness and kind of the woodiness elements are much more evident now than when it was in dry form. That's cool. Add another half teaspoon. A lot of backbone in this brush. You don't want to use it when it's young like this. If you have a aggressive razor that you're working on and it kind of messes with your face a little bit, you don't want to bring these two together. At least I don't. It's a little too scrubby for that for me. All right. Now, Dr. Jon's, I know I can take it a little further than some soaps in terms of hydration, so I don't believe we're quite there yet. We've got 3 teaspoons in it now. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. That stuff he added, pretty sophisticated, really helped the scent out. think we're ready to go. Let's take a look and see how it flops and moves. Yeah, let's try that out. I always add more water to my face between passes or something like that. All right. So now I'm going to throw a little bit more water on my face. And I am doing that bowl thing where I have a bowl in my sink and that's what's filled with water during my face rinses, but then I just use my razor and swish it around in the bowl instead of having to open up the tap again. I'm liking that so far. All right, fill this boar with some soap. I think I'm really going to like this boar rush. It starts to get softer. I'm hoping the backbone backs down a little bit and as it spreads out and opens up and all that. I am getting the scent. It's kind of light. It might be present enough. We'll see. Okay, lay down a little thin layer here. And let's try, see if I can get this razor to be comfortable. I mean, it's level 1 for goodness sakes. This is a lot better than yesterday. Well, a little better. I'm still getting a good bit of audio feedback. Probably because the bottom of the blade is not supported. The gripping comes into place about 5 or 6 millimeters from the edge. The top is gripped really close to the edge, but there's a good many razors that are like this one, where the bottom edge isn't really gripped as well. Not nearly as close to the cutting edge. And it makes for a more vocal razor like you're hearing. And but I think it's not as smooth feeling because you've obviously that sound comes from vibration. So that means the blade is vibrating. And if the blade is vibrating across my skin, rinse. Then it is not staying on my skin as in such a precision way as it could. So razors like Carve, Christopher Bradley, Razor Rock, Game Changer, Wolfman, the Gillette Tex that really grab it toward the edge. Those are going to be smoother. Left some water on my face to help the oh yeah, okay, good. I'm definitely getting a whiff of this. Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Jon. This was going to be a neat one, and I was really hoping it would be strong enough to really enjoy it. And sure enough, it is. Those other tones, rather than the sweet fruity, are coming out right now more. They're more dominant. Kind of like a musk. Or something where like a floral is combined with the woody or something like that. I'm not really good at identifying that particular family of scents. I think I like it. I think I do. Second pass. I don't know how the previous clip is going to come across to you. When I played it back on my phone just now, there were some sync issues with the audio versus the video. But, I mean, obviously you get the picture. It's just a shave. Alright, hopefully everything syncs up from now on, though. I've got this old phone, and it's slow, and sometimes it bogs down. But here's something we just learned. I think I might have just spent 10 minutes trying to run to my office to get the charging cable because the battery's running low. And then, oh man, it took me so long to type in my password because that's just my phone. It's just really old. And the display shuts down. It won't register the keyboard, you know, all those things. And so it took a while. But you know what that means? This part of the lather has sat on my face for that entire time. It is starting to dissipate right here. And it's getting kind of sticky and pasty in some areas. Now, in the thicker areas where it's white, it's very slick. So that's interesting. In general, it's held up just fine. All right, so let's shave the rest of this. There we go. All right, that's the second pass. Let me go ahead and rinse. As I've been walking around addressing the whole phone issues and stuff, I've really been experiencing this scent. It's, I'd say a 5 or a 6 out of 10, maybe a solid 6, which is cool because it's rare. Now, while we chat, I'm gonna get the lather ready for the third pass. But deciding whether I like it or not. I'm starting to be able, just now, I'm starting to be able to perceive the smokiness of it. And the sweet fruitiness is somewhat reduced. And that smokiness comes forward right now when it's wet, and I'm kind of cool about that because I didn't want the sweet to be quite so dominant when it was on my face. The Granny Smith and the pineapple. And so I think what's happening is they're trading places, and they're starting to add accent to the smokiness and the woodiness. And I think I might have to try this one a few times. This might be kind of an acquired scent, but I think it's very interesting. It might be one of those where all of a sudden I discover I just love it. All right. Now, third pass. Slick and very nice. I'm able to move pretty fast, like a lot of you, because I've figured out many of the mapping areas of my face, if you're new, it's going to be slower for you. That's the way it should be, because you haven't quite figured out the kind of the best way to approach all the passes and the directions and whatnot. All right, third pass down. Feels great. All right. So it looks like the 30 seconds on the puck there is pretty accurate. If you're kind of like me and you want to have kind of a little bit of margin left over, I could probably make maybe 2 passes out of what's here. So I'm happy about that. There's a little tiny feminine, the reason I'm pausing and kind of thinking, a little bit of a feminine note in there. Something that is reminding me of maybe a feminine, a female perfume or something like that. I don't know, maybe just me. All right, looking forward to trying this out a little bit more, see if I like it. I want to keep it. All right, water was the 3 teaspoons, and I think that's pretty well perfect, as long as I leave a little bit of water on my face. I think that worked out really well. The rinses between passes were excellent, slick and creamy, a nice luxurious creamy feel to it. Really happy with that. And that's par for the course for Dr. Jon's. No irritation, nice close shave. Over here, I don't even see any tips with length on them, you know, that like got missed or whatever, and that's uncommon. Really happy about that. So now I think it's just cleanup time, and I'll see you in a minute. This little guy is probably the most backbone of any of the boars that I have. And while it may be scrubby now, I think and I hope that in the future it may turn into one of my favorites, because when it opens up more, the tips split, it's broken in, then it will, because of the backbone it has now, be a little more apt to keep the tips on my face, where the others that I have, I wonder if, because they're so comfortable now, I wonder if they might open up a little too much in the future and not quite hold those awesome tips to my face. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens as these guys age. I think that's so intriguing about the boars. You don't get that same effect with synthetics, definitely, and or the badgers either. And so I think it's really neat. And for the fact I got this guy for $7, because he had an imperfect, I got from the imperfect area of Stirling's site, imperfect labeling, $7. Come on, this is an awesome boar for $7. Slow break in, but I think it's going to shape up to be a really, really nice boar. Love this handle. Bigger in real life than it looks in the photos online. So sure enough, I did not smell the sweetness, the apples, the sour apples, the pineapple, nearly as much on my face in wet lather form as I do dry from the puck. And that's just the way it works out. Some soaps are like that. And I picked up more of the smokiness, the woodiness, with just kind of accents of those fruit notes. Looking forward to using this more. It's very intriguing, interesting. Not a whole lot in the same family as this guy. So as I'm thinking about this soap, I don't really want anything to jump in and kind of interfere. And so whipping out the Soap Commander unscented, and this is without any menthol. They actually have a couple of unscented with menthol and without. Put a little water on my face to help the balm to just spread around really quickly and easily. I've got oily skin, so I don't need tons of hydration, so we're good there. All right. So I think what I may have discovered is that with this charcoal goods razor, it may just not have the close nip from the bottom as well as the top that I enjoy. That gives me smooth, kind of quiet shaves, consistent, really comfortable. And unfortunately I have a good many razors that do that. And I did mention like the Fat Boy, the Slim before. I don't really recall them being too noisy, and so I'm guessing that somehow they also grip right up there close enough to the blade to prevent the vibration and the sound and things like that. So I really enjoy those guys too. And the Aristocrats from the UK, I've got a few of those. I think those are really good at that as well. Just a nice bite up close that really help to give a good feel, good consistent feel to the shave. So I think maybe I'll pass this charcoal goods razor on. It's been really good. I'm glad I tried the level 1, but and it's a good, if I had to use it for the rest of my life because I lost all my other razors, I wouldn't have a problem with that. It's a nice enjoyable shave. You know, just sometimes we're able to choose, and so I think maybe this will be behind some others that I like a little better. So good shave. Loved the base for Dr. Jon's. Really nice slickness even after the shave. You know, just really comfortable. My face had there was no sign of any drying or anything like that necessitated the balm that I put on. Could have just as well have thrown on some witch hazel or nothing at all and been just fine. So that's the way Dr. Jon's works for me. This little brush, he's still scrubby and all kinds of big and backbone, and so we'll keep working at him and watch him get softer. And I think we're good. It's a good shave, nice close, good results, good comfort, relatively speaking. So I'm happy with it all the way around. I hope there was something here for you. You take care. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Good night.